Hi, and welcome to the Book Bar, where everything bookish is on the menu. I'm Ann Jeanette Barr, and today I wanted to show you my bookish, Hobbity March bullet journal layout. I had a lot of fun with this and just thought I would record the process for you. My March layout is going to be more simple than my February layout. You can see that in February I had grand plans that I did not fulfill. I didn't end up checking off a lot of my boxes or doing my daily tracker, so this time I'm just not going to include some of those things, but I do have some other things to include this month that I didn't have last month, like dates for Lent. So since most of Lent is in March, I'm just adding some feast days and some important things to remember about Lent, like the purpose of Lent and what I plan to do for this season personally. So the main components of Lent are prayer, fasting, almsgiving, and then I added also to read, and I added memento mori. And if you're curious about Lent, I did a video all about what I'm reading for Lent and what I want to focus on during this season. I'm also including March 13th, a little section here to fill out with my daughter. That's her 11th birthday, and so I want to just chat with her about what she'd like to do for that special day, even though we're in a pandemic, and I'm going to include that there. I have this great program on my phone, an app called Walk to Mordor, and it allows you to walk the distance from Hobbiton to Mordor in kind of actual miles. I really wanted to finish this in a year. I think I'm revising that just to knock some of it out each month, even if it's not a year. So I included two separate trackers here for my walk to Mordor. 12 miles and another 9 miles to do in the month of March. I hope I exceed that, but 12 miles would get me to the encounter with the Black Rider, and 9 more miles after that, I would meet the elves. It's a fun app. You can find a link in the description box. It just has all of the major milestones from the book, and it's just fun to keep track of. So I'm not very far in yet. I know that it's going to take me more than a year to walk to Mordor at this rate, but I thought that would be fun to include in this month's bullet journal. These stickers are so great. They're from Tasha Dreams on Etsy, and that link will also be in the description below. She has a lot of very cool Tolkien-inspired things that you will see on my channel in the future. This bottom section I'm using for garden planning. This is the month to go ahead and start my seeds. I won't be able to start them until later in the month, but I thought if I could get organized and write down at least the seeds that I want to start indoors and have a place to record when I do, then I'll be more likely to remember and stay on track. So I'll be using both of these bullet journal pages mostly to reference throughout the month and not necessarily to go back to every day, and I think that will work out better for me than what I had set up for last month. Now I get to erase all of my pencil marks, so I definitely didn't just do this freehand. I took some time to plan it out ahead of time, and that's a great way to get started with bullet journaling if you've never done it before. It just takes some of the pressure off when it's time to make it pretty. On this right side is I'm doing things all about books. So the left side was just general for the month, and the right side is keeping track of all of my reading. I made a video about how I keep track of my reading in general for the year and how I keep track of what I've read and how much I enjoyed it, so definitely watch that. This is just more what I plan to read for the month of March, and I'm reading quite a few books with other people, so this little section that I'm doing first is all about my book club reads. I'm reading The Silmarillion with the creator of the journal I'm using here, Tea with Tolkien, and Caitlin, the creator. And then I'm reading Fellowship of the Ring with my son. The Tea with Tolkien planner includes a planning page for reading Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King in 1 year, and I'm using that with my son. I'm also reading A Philosophy of Education with a group, and I'm reading The Way of the Cross. I decided to do a book stack this month instead of a bookshelf to record the books that I actually get to. I tend to read about 4 books a month, so I'm giving myself at least 4 books to write titles on when I'm finished reading them. I love that this planner has dot pages because unlike graph paper, it doesn't leave obvious lines, but it still gives me a guide so that I can actually draw things. I'm not a great artist. I just looked at a search for book stacks, and then I came up with my own version of what someone else had done. So again, no pressure. If you're doing bullet journaling and you're new like I am, just have fun with it. And it's great if you can get some dot paper or something that's not just plain paper to give you some guides. And another fun sticker. I really wanted to include a quote from The Hobbit for this month's bullet journal, and I found this one that I think fits great with Lent and just with how I feel right now, and I decided to use my calligraphy pen to write it out nicely. It's been years since I've used a calligraphy pen, so don't judge. It was fun to try though. I had to practice a little bit, but I'm not super disappointed with how it came out. The quote is, "If more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world." And this last section is all about the Booktube videos that I have planned for March. I actually have a list longer than this, but these are my top priority, so you might get a little sneak peek here if you can read what I'm writing. My goal is to make 50 videos on this channel in 1 year, and this is my 16th, so I am well on my way, but I do have lots of fun things coming up that I can't wait to share with you. Now, I'm using a lot of stickers from Tasha Dreams, but also from another shop, and I will put both of those links in the description. Like I said, I moved some of these stickers around a little bit. I tried out different kinds of washi tape, and I ended up just with kind of a floral theme along with the mushrooms and cute little embellishments that came with the Hobbit sticker set. The finishing touches are just a little bit of color on those books that I won't be writing on, and then I'm done. Thanks for watching my Hobbit-themed bullet journal layout for March. I hope that you come back for more bookish videos. I do plan on doing a review of Fellowship of the Ring as soon as we finish it, and then moving on with some other Tolkien books. Leave me a comment and tell me if you do bullet journaling or some other kind of planning. And once again, the planner that I'm using is the Tea with Tolkien planner, and you can find a link to that and everything else in the description below. Thanks so much for watching.